Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it. Welcome. How many of you have been to Vermont? Well, you've got a prayer. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. Well, we're really excited in Vermont about Amtrak and the Ethan Allen route that's made its long-anticipated return through Virgins and Middlebury and Burlington. It's been 70 years since we had that rail service return to Burlington. Last time it was there was 1953. And that route is already overperforming. So folks in Vermont are quite excited about that. And in fact, it's going to exceed expectations by the end of the year. And it's a really big deal. It's bringing about 33,000 people into Vermont, right into the heart of downtown Burlington, our largest city. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Coos, we want to keep that going. But if confirmed, what steps would you take to help support extending and expanding Amtrak services to small and rural states like Vermont?
Let me just reference my time in U.S. Conference of Mayors, and I say there are two types of mayors in the United States, and those are mayors that have Amtrak service and want more of it, and those that don't and would like to have it. The demand is huge, and it's going to be an incredible challenge for Amtrak to step up and answer those issues. Fortunately, there's robust funding to address those issues, and I would work on that if appointed to the board as a high priority. I understand how that form of passenger service is vital to smaller communities throughout the United States, and the ability to maintain it and improve it is going to be a high priority for
Thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Kosha, I wanted to ask you, we want to extend the rail service to Montreal. It really would be incredibly good for Quebec. It'd be incredibly good for Vermont, and actually points south of Vermont as well. But we need a pre-clearance facility, and it's in the books. I mean, it's been studied, and there's expenses obviously associated with it, but it's a real critical element of making this Ethan Allen train workable and beneficial for Quebec and really all in New England and even down south to New York. So what steps can we take to finally get off the drawing boards on that and have that secure sanitary corridor, I guess is the term, to make this a reality?
Yeah, thank you, Senator, for the question. And yes, that is an important issue. In fact, we have it on both ends of the country. Chair Cantwell would share the fact that we have similar levels of sort of challenges relative to service between Vancouver and Seattle, and equally
right.
The Ethan Allen's ability to get to Montreal and be able to process people from an immigration standpoint correctly is important. As you know, the U.S. government and the Canadian government are in active discussions
right.
about the development of a facility there. We have been very encouraging, and our sort of effort here has been to frankly push both sides. And we've been very aggressive about, we need to do this and we need to get it done. In the interim, we have already scheduled sessions with CBP to see if there are other methods we can use that don't involve significant construction of new facilities that might provide for an expedited processing. So you should rest assured that we share your view that it is important for us to create that kind of streamlined processing to cross the border. And we are looking at not just capital solutions, but also operating solutions between ourselves.
That would be terrific. We'd like to be kept informed about how you're doing on some of these operating practical solutions that can be a method by which we make this happen sooner than we might be able to build a whole facility.
Right. We would be happy to spend time with you and your staff sort of on all the efforts we've been making with the various agencies that have jurisdiction over this to try to come up with a measure.
Well, and also to ask me to be of assistance in any way that I possibly can. This is a very, very important issue for Vermont. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to yield back to myself. And this is the closing of the hearing. But before we close today's hearing, I have one more question, which we ask of all nominees. If confirmed, will you pledge to work collaboratively with this committee, provide thorough and timely responses to our requests for information, as we put together and address important policy issues, and appear before the committee when requested.
Yes.
Yes, Senator.
Yes.
Thank you for that commitment.
Yes, Senator.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Senators will have until the close of business Monday, June 26th, to submit questions for the record to the committee, and witnesses will have until the close of business Monday, July 3rd, to respond to those questions. And I want to thank you on behalf of the entire committee for your appearance today. And that concludes today's hearing.